Hey guys, it's the X-Wing pilot, and I'm finally doing a review of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I've seen the movie 3 times, and so now I can comfortably feel like reviewing it. I've seen little things I didn't see the past 2 times, and we're gonna theorize about stuff. But I do want to say, if you have not seen Star Wars: The Force Awakens, number one, how are you here? Number two, don't watch unless you don't care about spoilers, because I will be spoiling everything. And yeah, just don't watch if you haven't seen the movie yet. That being said, spoiler alert is over. I'm gonna get into it. The crawl to this movie is the best crawl of any of the Star Wars movies. Don't get me wrong, 4 is phenomenal, but the first line hooks you in immediately. Luke Skywalker has vanished. I didn't expect Luke to show up until the third act of this movie. I didn't expect him to show up till like maybe the last 45 minutes. But holy crap, I did not expect him to show up when he did. And I'll get to that when we cross it. So we're introduced first to Max von Sydow's character, who I cannot remember the name of. I don't think they ever really stated in the movie, and Poe Dameron. And he says this will begin to make things right. And he gives Poe a piece of a map to Luke Skywalker. And so, anyway, the First Order lands on the planet of Jakku. They want the map. They know that von Sydow's there, and von Sydow tells him, "You got to run," and he says, "You got to hide." So Poe makes his way to his X-wing to try to escape. He gets shot at by a bunch of stormtroopers. He takes a bunch of them out, but Max von Sydow gets caught and killed by Kylo Ren, but not before Max von Sydow could mention Kylo Ren's family. He didn't specifically say who they were, but he mentioned family, and that he knows Kylo Ren is not his real name. Kylo Ren kills him, and then Poe shoots at Kylo Ren, and this is the best way to open the fucking movie. He stops the bolt, the fucking blaster bolt, with the Force, and he doesn't have to hold his hand up to like keep it up. He just sits there. All while this is going on, they seem to keep a lot of focus on this one stormtrooper. You see, he does not fire his gun. One of his comrades falls, and he like wipes his hand on his helmet, and you see a blood handprint on there. Well, they load Poe onto the ship, and Kylo and the stormtrooper just look at each other, and then the blaster hits them, and then all the civilians were killed by Phasma and the rest of the stormtroopers. So you get onto the ship. Stormtrooper takes off his helmet, and it is the person we've been seeing from the trailer. Anyway, short thing short, he does not want to be a part of this. He does not like killing innocent people. He wants out. So he helps break Poe out. They fly a TIE fighter together, and Poe gives him the name Finn because the only thing they ever did was give him a code number. So Finn and Poe are escaping. They're blowing up these big gunners on this huge Star Destroyer, but they eventually get hit and they crash land on the planet of Jakku. So when we're on Jakku, it seems like Poe is dead, but he really isn't. Finn grabs his jacket, takes off all the stormtrooper armor, and heads into this little town where he sees someone who is also had some focus on, named Rey. Rey has been living in this isolated desert planet, scavenging for portions in order to supply her food and stuff. And she comes across this droid BB-8, who earlier in the movie was given the map to Luke Skywalker by Poe. So we come across her. She's helping this droid BB-8 around when Finn comes in and sees her being attacked, but she kicks everyone's ass. But then she chases down Finn because BB-8 recognizes the jacket, and all this happens, and then the First Order is on their tail. They got to get out of there. So they are running towards this land crawler, and this is one of the best parts of the movie. As they're running towards this land crawler, you see an explosion because they blow up the thing. But before that, Finn points to the side and says, "What about that ship?" And she says that ship's a piece of junk. And then the land crawler blows up, and she goes, "Okay, the piece of junk it is." Then the camera pans over, and it's the Millennium freaking Falcon. And it's so cool. There's just so many things about this movie I really like. But they take out, they leave with Millennium Falcon. They take out TIE fighters, and they're golden, right? Well, then they get captured, and so they start to connect a little bit more. I should mention that. They learn each other's names and all this, but then they get captured by another ship, and who comes on board but Han Solo and Chewbacca. So, skipping some of the stupider stuff like I can't remember what the CGI aliens were. I mean, it was a decent scene, but it didn't need to be in the movie. Some aliens that Han Solo was smuggling. But we get past that. They're headed to Maz Kanata's temple because they have to get Finn, and really they gotta get BB-8 to the Resistance base. And the reason being is because the map to Luke Skywalker. And Finn tells Han Solo about this map, and you get exposition. Han telling exposition about the Force and about the Jedi. And Han, a man who 30 years earlier was saying, it's all just a hokey religion, nothing like a good blaster at your side. 30 years later, he's saying the Jedi and the Force are real. So they get to Maz Kanata's, and it's a cantina. It's really cool too, all the aliens and stuff. And Finn wants to leave, and we learn all this stuff. Finn finally tells her that he's not a Resistance fighter, and Rey starts to travel into the depths of the Maz Kanata's little cantina, and she finds this box. She opens the box, and there's a lightsaber in there. The same lightsaber that was cut from Luke Skywalker's hand. The same lightsaber that belonged to Luke and Anakin. So she touches the saber, and she gets this whole Force vision. You see the Knights of Ren. You see all this other stuff. You see all this really insane imagery. You see the island that will come into play later. You hear familiar voices. You hear Yoda. You hear Luke and Vader's fight. And most of all, the biggest thing I think you hear is at the end when you hear Obi-Wan Kenobi say, "Rey, these are your first steps." And then the vision ends. Maz Kanata is telling her about the Force. She's trying to convince Rey, and she tells Rey to take the saber, and Rey refuses to do it. So the First Order is now activating Starkiller Base. They blow up this entire Hosnian system, which is where the Republic is located. The Republic has been wiped out, and they're now coming down on Maz Kanata's temple and are attacking because they need the droid, obviously. But Kylo Ren finds Rey and takes her aboard ship. But the Resistance come in and they kind of fight. They help clear out the First Order. However, they do get away with Rey. That's when we get another great scene. The Resistance ship lands. You see a bunch of people come out, and then walks out General Leia Organa. And her and Han are face to face, and then just like Empire Strikes Back, C-3PO butts in and says, "Oh my God, it's Han Solo," and he's saying hi. He's like, "You probably didn't recognize me with the red arm." And Chewie comes up and hugs Leia. It's just a really great scene. You also find out, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but whatever. You find out when they first meet Snoke. Snoke says that Rey is on board the Millennium Falcon with his father Han Solo. So Kylo Ren is in fact the son of Han and Leia. So now it's a mission to destroy Starkiller Base and to get out Rey. Finn says he knows how to deactivate the shields so they can destroy it, but he in fact doesn't. He just needs on the ship to get Rey. So they get on there. A lot of witty one-liners occur, and they find Phasma. They have her shut down the shields. Then their mission is to find Rey and get out of there. But they find Rey, who has used a Jedi mind trick to trick James Bond, Daniel Craig, in a stormtrooper outfit. And she has also used the ability to read in Kylo Ren's mind the same way he was reading in hers. So she knows that he wants to be like Vader. And we also learn that he is a dark side Force user who's struggling with the light. He asks Vader to show him the darkness because he can feel the light pulling at him. So, as Han is about to leave Starkiller Base, he says, "We gotta go back. They're not going to be able to blow this thing up." So he sets these charges, and then right after he sets these charges, you see Kylo Ren walking down this long platform with no rails, by the way, Star Wars style. And then Han walks up and yells, "Ben." Kylo turns around, tells him to take the mask off, and we get this very emotional speech from Kylo Ren about how he needs help. He can feel it pulling at him, tearing him apart, and he wants it to go away. And it's supposed to sound like he wants the darkness to go away, but he's talking about the light. And he asks Han to help him, and Han says, "Anything." Kylo Ren then takes the saber, holds it out, Han grabs it. There's like a stalemate with the saber, and then the saber clicks on, and the image of a lightsaber going through the chest of Han Solo is something I never thought I would see. And it made me cry. It was a devastating moment for me. And I get Terry just thinking about it. It was a devastating moment. It was crucial to have an emotional moment like this, and I understand why they killed off Han. And it makes Kylo Ren just that much better of a bad guy. But my God, if there was ever a reason to hate Kylo Ren, there it is. He kills his father, Han Solo. And even after that, Han Solo touches his face right before he falls into the depths of Starkiller Base. So after that, Chewie's reaction, which is great, he goes berserk, he shoots Kylo Ren with that crossbow. And they've been building up that crossbow all throughout the movie, how devastating it is, and he shoots Kylo Ren right in the abdomen with it. So Kylo Ren goes into a lightsaber battle with Finn, very hurt while the Resistance is blowing up Starkiller Base. But eventually Kylo Ren bests him, slice up the back, and you think Finn's gone. Kylo tries to use the Force to get the lightsaber Finn was wielding, which was Anakin and Luke's, and then the lightsaber flies right past Kylo Ren into the hands of Rey. They have a little bit of a back and forth saber fight, and Kylo starts to get the advantage when Kylo says he can teach her the ways of the Force. That ignites something in her, and she looks into herself, and she uses the Force to decimate Kylo Ren. She leaves a big gash across his face, and then as the planet's blowing up, it separates into on opposite sides. Hux is told to go get Kylo Ren by Snoke, and Chewie comes to save Finn and Rey. You get back to the Resistance base. Everybody's happy, celebrating. Starkiller Base has imploded. It's gone. Han is dead, sadly. Chewie is heartbroken, probably. Like, his reaction was perfect, but Han is dead. Starkiller Base is gone, and Kylo Ren, Hux are still out there. So they tend to Finn. Rey says goodbye. She hugs Leia, which makes me think, just the way they act about this movie too. They act like Rey is someone important. She's definitely important, but Maz Kanata in her lair says that just says, "Who's the girl?" to Han Solo, and then it cuts. And then when Leia sees her, Leia's never seen her before this, and he doesn't even know her name. She's just heard her referred to as the girl. She hugs her, and you see the recognition on her face. Plus, a lightsaber with a family lineage has been calling to Rey. Just saying. I think Rey has a relation to a certain character, but we'll get into that a little bit. But Rey leaves after the map of Skywalker is completed when R2-D2 wakes up and gives them the rest of the map. So she flies to this island that she saw in her Force vision. And you see the last shot of the movie. Turn around is Luke freaking Skywalker. And you see the recognition on his face. You see it. He recognizes her. And then she holds out the lightsaber. He looks even more intrigued, more recognizable. And then cut. The movie ends. I think Rey is Luke's daughter. 100% think so. It's a Skywalker story. The main saga is going to continue the Skywalker story. And I think it's not really a Skywalker story if you only have one Skywalker on the opposing side, you know. I think you need to have another Skywalker. Now, there could be another Skywalker out there who's not Rey, that we just haven't been introduced to yet, but I think Rey is a Skywalker. But the movie was great. It was kind of a retelling of A New Hope, but it's not a complete retelling. It's paying homage to New Hope while doing something different, and I like that. And hopefully we see more use of Phasma in the next movie, and Hux. I felt like they weren't used as well. Even Poe. Poe, to an extent, wasn't used very well. But the movie as a whole was great. There's a lot of speculation from me. I think that Rey is Luke's daughter, and I think that she is going to be continuing or starting her training with Luke in the next movie, and I'm very excited for that. But overall, The Force Awakens was a great movie. It exceeded expectations, in my opinion. I thought it was a very good movie, and it is definitely my favorite movie of the year. I've been waiting for this movie for so long. It's 10 years. 10 years I was waiting for this movie. I finally got it. I went opening night and I had a blast. I'm going to rate Star Wars The Force Awakens 4.6 out of 10 stars. 10. No. 4.6 out of 5 stars. Sorry. The Force Awakens was a great movie. If you haven't seen it yet, you probably shouldn't watch this video because I spoiled everything. But go see it. If you have seen it, go see it again. Why not? There's really nothing out there that's competing with them, except Ride Along 2, I guess, which took the #1 spot at the box office recently. So, but yeah, Star Wars: The Force Awakens was a great movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a great time going. I'm gonna go see it a 4th time, and it's just such a good movie. I can't wait for it to come out on DVD. I'm gonna buy it, complete my collection. And the news dropping about a new Star Wars movie every year is great. We're gonna have the spin-off, then spin-off saga. It's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to Rogue One this year, and the speculation for Rogue One begins soon. So thank you guys for watching this video. I am the X-Wing pilot. I'll see you guys in the next one.